Welcome back to another episode in our series, The Butterfly Mind. Today, we will peel back the noise and reconnect with what truly matters. In the last chapter, we spoke about delusions, the race to be seen, the pressure to win, and the chase to be more. And today, we have arrived at an antidote to all that noise, which is presence. Not the past we keep replaying, and not the future we keep rehearsing, just the quiet, grounding power of now. With this, let's start our today's episode, Focus on Now. But before that, let me ask you a question. If you had to define your worth using only this moment, no trophies, no titles, what would you say? Hold that thought, because by the end of today's chapter, we may just discover that the chipped ball in our hands is far more valuable than we ever imagined. This is a reflection on appreciating who we are in the present. Some people get caught up in memories, they are emotionally anchored in the past. There is a very good Zen saying, dwell in the breath. On the surface level, it encourages us to live fully in the present moment with mindful attention to every breath. This also aligns with the Buddhist idea of dwelling in the three worlds: the past, the present, and the future. Though we are connected to all three, the present moment is when we exist or where we exist. The past has already faded and the future is yet to unfold. This is a way to understand the concept of samsara, the eternal cycle of death and rebirth. Everything has a beginning, an end, and a beginning again. In simpler terms, there is a little value in dwelling on the past, which is over, or stressing about a future that hasn't yet arrived. What truly matters is how we show up in the present. There's a short Japanese poem, it's called Senryu. It very beautifully captures this thought. And it's like, even the chipped bowl was once a cherry tree on Mount Yoshino. This symbolizes that the cracked bowl once stood tall as a blooming cherry tree on that mountain, admired by countless visitors. Its past beauty became part of its journey to the present. But it's not only about the cherry trees. People too often cling to former triumphs, such as, I led a massive project. I was the one who made it all happen. Sure, it feels good to celebrate past achievements, right? A toast to past victories is very valid. But when the same stories are told again and again, doesn't it feel a little stale? You have probably heard someone say, there they go again with that old story. It's getting tedious. It can feel draining to constantly hear tales of old glory. Clinging to the past often reflects a lack of faith in who you are now. That's how anxiety and self doubt begin to seep in. You could even say that we diminish our present self when we get lost in yesterday. And let me say it again so it sinks in. What matters is how we live in the now. If you think of yourself as nothing more than a chipped bowl or someone stuck in a dead end job, you only amplify your unhappiness. But even a chipped bowl can still carry soup that nourishes the soul. So why not become the best chipped bowl we can be? And that to me is what it means to truly dwell in the breath. And as this chapter quietly settles, take a moment, not to look back, not to rush ahead, but to be here with your breath, your thoughts, and your chipped bowl, of course. The message isn't about chasing a flawless present or forgetting where we have been. It's about being fully awake to now and understanding that even the worn up parts of us still hold meaning. And to let this truth breathe a little deeper, let me share a short story. one that gently carries the spirit of this chapter forward. There once was an old piano in the corner of a small town cafe. Its wood was chipped, the keys a little yellowed. Once upon a time, it had been the centerpiece of grand recitals in the city concert hall. But now, it sat quietly, mostly ignored, just a part of the furniture. A little girl used to visit that cafe with her grandfather every Saturday. And one day, she was wandering around and she ran her fingers across these dusty keys and played a small, clumsy tune she had just learned. The cafe quieted. Head started to turn. Her grandfather beamed. And the owner of the cafe, hearing the melody, walked over with his eyes wide. And he said, I forgot how beautiful this old thing could sound. From that day on, the piano was played every weekend. And guess what? Not by the professionals and not by the past, but by the children and the wanderers and by anyone who wanted to make that music in the moment. You know, this tells us a very beautiful moral. The worth of something or someone is not in their past glories, nor in their dreams of tomorrow, but in their ability to be alive, useful, and meaningful right now. Even a dusty old piano still holds music if you let it play. I hope this chapter helped you in understanding a very simple yet often forgotten truth that life doesn't wait for us to finish reminiscing about the past or planning every step of the future. It unfolds here, in this breath, in this very moment. And the more we learn to honor that, the more meaningful our journey becomes. Until next time, stay present, stay grounded, and keep breathing.